What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23 coming to you today with another Overwatch video, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about Overwatch's SR ranking system in competitive, and why I'm not exactly a huge fan of the system, and why I think Blizzard still has a lot of work to do when it comes to the Overwatch competitive experience, and some things that they need to try to work on to improve it going into Season 4, because so far Season 3 to me honestly feels a little bit worse than Season 2. Honestly though, I didn't have a lot of experience with Season 2, but I'm just having a lot of negative experiences so far with Season 3, and I honestly am really having a hard time enjoying the competitive scene in Overwatch so far. I'm going to talk about a little bit of that here in this video, so just stick around and hear me complain quite a bit about Overwatch. So anyways, what I wanted to talk about today mainly is the SR ranking system that exists in Overwatch competitive, and that's basically your number ranking and determines whether you're bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, grandmaster, whatever. And you get SR rank points based on wins and losses in Overwatch. And that's one of the main problems I have with it as the system exists currently, is it's very dependent on winning and losing. Your overall actual performance in the game as whatever hero you're using doesn't really play a huge role in what your rank turns out to be. It does play a little minor role, and if you have really bad stats and you play really poorly and you lose, you're going to get hit with a huge SR loss. Whereas if you lose and you play well, you'll get a little bit of a lower SR loss. And the same thing if you win. If you win the match and you don't play very well, your SR gain is not going to be very good. But if you win the match and you play really, really well, you're going to get a much higher SR gain. I've also noticed that your SR gain seems to be a little bit easier to get higher numbers when you play DPS and do well versus playing support. Support really doesn't get a ton of love in this game for some odd reason. So it seems if you play well as a support and you play as equally well as a DPS character, you're actually going to wind up doing more, getting a better SR rank for playing that DPS character, which is really weird. I don't understand how that works, but overall, I'm just kind of tired of the fact that no matter how good you play, you are completely dependent on the 5 other people you get teamed up with. Now, I understand Overwatch is a team-based shooter, and that's fine. I don't mind that at all. I actually like that about Overwatch. I like the fact that you play as a team and hopefully do well as a team. The problem is, especially in solo queue, is that you are going to wind up with a lot of just really, really poor teammates. And this is mainly prevalent, I think, down at the gold rank, the silver rank, and it gets even worse when you get down into bronze, I would imagine. I can't really speak from much experience beyond that, since I haven't been able to get to platinum yet, because every time I get really close, I wind up getting paired with some of the worst players in all time, and my SR rank just completely tanks. And that's another thing I'm going to talk about later, is the roller coaster effect and how you can't. It's really hard to progress in SR, especially when you're in some of the lower ranks. Now, when I started Season 2, I felt like I got placed a little too high. It placed me about mid-gold, and I hadn't really played the game much, so I thought that was a bit high. And, of course, with Season 3 placements, they said they were going to probably rank people a little bit lower than where they were, and even if you played the same, you'd probably be a little bit lower. So I actually started off in silver, right around 1800 for Season 3. I very quickly climbed into gold, got to about 2000, and over the course of about 2 weeks, I was actually able to get up to about 2,300. My season high right now, I think, is 2297. And I was getting really excited because, honestly, I've been putting a lot of work into my gameplay with Overwatch. I've been practicing a lot. I've been working on my aim. I've been trying to play a lot of different heroes in quick play to learn how to fill different roles. And I've been having a lot of fun with the game. So I felt like my stats were improving, and I watch about 3 or 4 different stat websites with Overwatch, different apps, so that I can see that I'm improving. I see all my numbers going up. I see my rankings getting better, and I feel like I'm getting better at the game. So I got up to almost 2,300 points. I'm thinking, okay, I'm on the way. I'm finally going to be able to break through to platinum, which is actually my goal for Season 3. And then I just got hit with this just insanely bad losing streak. I think I probably lost 12 games in a row or something like that. And I actually dipped down below 1,800. I got back down into the silver range. And now it's been a slow climb trying to get back out of it, and it seems like I just cannot get good teammates for whatever reason. And it drives me crazy. And I don't know why I went on this losing streak, other than the fact that I was teamed up with bad players. I wasn't playing any worse than I normally was. I was still playing relatively well. I was still doing quite well on my character. And I know people hate when you say, oh, I was getting all the gold medals and all that stuff, but quite honestly, that does play a little bit into it. If you're not doing well and getting good statistics, you're not going to be contributing well to your team. And So I look at that a little bit, but I don't place a huge emphasis on it. But when I'm playing support, especially if I'm getting the high numbers in heals and things like that, I do put a little bit of emphasis on that. And I mean, I'm getting on teams where it's just everybody's had these teammates. It's just horrible. I'll be playing Lucio, and I'm leading in eliminations and damage. It's just it's insane how bad some of these players are. And I think part of the problem is you're getting a lot of people that are jumping into Overwatch for the first time with the holidays. There was the Black Friday sale where they had Origins Edition on sale for, it was like $35 or something like that. And I think a lot of people are jumping into the game. And one of the problems I'm seeing is there's a lot of players, especially in the gold rank, that probably should not even be above bronze. And I'm trying to figure out how they actually wound up in gold rank. But it probably is similar to what happened to me in Season 2. The game doesn't have a lot of data on you, and as soon as you jump into competitive, when you hit rank 25, it's just going to place you a little higher than where you should be. And I'm seeing a lot of this in the gold rank especially, and it's making it really difficult to climb back out. And as I said before, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, just get good, you're not good at the game. Well, like I said, my statistics haven't gone down from when I was almost 2,300 in SR. In fact, I'm actually improving, but I just keep losing matches. I cannot win a match to save my life because, honestly, every match I get to at least 2 to 3 people who don't want to play the objective, who don't really want to play the game, and it's almost like they've never played Overwatch before. And these teammates just drive me crazy. And I'm sure a lot of you, especially at the silver and gold rank, are experiencing the same thing. It seems to be really, really bad in Season 3 for some reason. And that's one of the reasons I think Blizzard really needs to figure something out, figure out some kind of happy medium with this SR system. I personally would like to see your stats having a bigger emphasis. Now, some people say this would encourage people to just go for kills and things like that, and I can see that happening, which is why I don't think it needs to be a huge emphasis. But your overall individual performance definitely needs to have a much more important role when your SR rank is figured out. Case in point, I'm going to use a game I had the other night. I jump on, and I've been maining D.Va mostly in Season 3 because she's probably my best hero so far in competitive, and I've got about 10 hours on her so far this competitive season. Now, I can play Soldier 76, I can play Lucio. I've been working on Zenyatta in Quick Play. I've gotten quite a few hours on him in Quick Play and really enjoy his play style, so if I have to, I can play him in competitive. But I usually like to play D.Va since I can play that tank role, and a lot of people don't like to play tank for some reason at the lower ranks, so it's when you can have a little bit more effective tank that can help things out. But so anyways, somebody grabbed D.Va really quick, and that's another issue with the game is the DPS locks and people locking characters that they really have no business playing, but that's for another time. So basically, or no, actually what had happened was I had picked D.Va and we had a Reinhardt and we had a pretty solid team makeup, and then we had someone who picked the token Torbjorn or Widowmaker. When you're playing at silver level, you really should not be playing Torb or Widow unless you're not going to be that good at them, quite honestly. Good enough to where you can make a difference when you're playing an attack map or something like that. And somebody wanted to switch to a healer. Nobody would switch, so I said, hey guys, I play Lucio. I'll jump on Lucio so somebody else can play the guy they want to play, and it's fine. It all worked out. It was great. So I end up doing really, really, really good as Lucio. I think I actually was gold in objective kills. I was actually silver in eliminations, which is crazy. Gold in healing, of course. I mean, I healed for like probably 22,000 damage, which is pretty good if you're a Lucio player. And played out my butt the whole game, and I played really, really well. We had a couple other people play really, really, really well on the team, and what happened was it was actually a very close-fought match, and we ended up losing I went to overtime, and then we actually had a sudden death type thing where we both had to try to get the payload out, and we had taken so long the second time to get the payload, we didn't have any time to get it out the second time, so we basically had to keep the other team from getting the payload just to force a draw. Well, they ended up, we almost did it, but in the last like 10 seconds they won the match because they all kept their ults and they all fired their ults off at the same time. And we ended up losing the match. Well, like I said, I played really well. I had done very well with my ult with Lucio. I had actually saved us from a team wipe, I think 4 times in the match, and blocked a ton of damage with my sonic barriers. And I get like a 50 SR point drop, or 40 or 50 SR point drop for this very closely fought match that we lose. And I'm looking at, our team, and a couple people played really well. I thought I played very well for that game. My numbers were really, really good, and I thought I was a great teammate. And yet I get punished by losing 40-plus SR ranking points. And for me, when something like that happens, and this happens very often to me in Overwatch competitive, especially in solo queue, I just don't feel like playing anymore, because to me it feels like no matter what I do, 1 or 2 losses is just going to completely derail my performance, and it's going to make me not want to play the game anymore. It doesn't matter how much time I put into improving my aim, improving my gameplay, learning the maps, and overall becoming a better player, because just 1 or 2 losses is enough to completely undo a couple of wins. And, you know, that's the other thing, too. You win a match, you get like 10 or 15 points. You lose a match, you lose like 30 or 40. That's just not a system that's going to work, at least not for me. And so that's actually, I've been taking a little bit of a break from Overwatch lately because, honestly, I just don't feel like playing right now because, you know, I've been practicing a little bit in quick play. I haven't been playing much competitive the last couple of days because I just got tired of it. And I went on this, like I said, really bad losing streak of 10 or 11 games, and that just really put a sour taste in my mouth with competitive, especially when during those games I'm playing very well and I'm watching my overall statistics and things just go up on all the stat applications I use, and then I sit there and just continually get paired with these awful teammates, people that just troll the entire match, or these people that leave, and it's just very, very frustrating. It's creating a very frustrating experience for me with Overwatch, and going to the Blizzard forums, I see the same thing being talked about there, and I think Blizzard is really going to start to lose some of the player base they have unless they figure out a way to fix this to where they make it seem like your performance actually makes an impact on your rank. And that's what I really, and I know a lot of people argue about the team concept, but I've never played a shooter before where your actual overall performance is not rewarded, where you are not, you know, for being a good individual player, you don't really get anything out of it. And I'm not asking for them to switch it so your individual stats are all that matter when you're playing in competitive. I just want to see a higher emphasis on how well you play. So if you get that match where somebody leaves or somebody trolls and you're playing 6 versus 5 or 6 versus 4, and you actually play out of your butt and you actually play really, really good and do all you can to help the team win, and you're a really good teammate, instead of getting hit with that massive 30 or 40 SR point drop, you should actually get a much less lower penalty. Or and honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing them do something where even if you lose the match, it's still possible to gain a minimum amount of SR. Because like I said, if you're playing really, really well, you're being a good teammate, you're playing well, you're doing everything you can to try to win, and you're just, you know, for whatever reason, there's 2 or 3 people on your team who don't care, who are trolling or just not trying hard, and you lose that match, you should not be punished that harshly for losing that match when you're doing everything you can to really be a good teammate. So that's really the point of this video, is just Season 3 has been really frustrating so far with regards to the competitive scene in Overwatch. I was really hoping to jump up and get into Platinum to where I could maybe get with some better players, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen right away. Thankfully, we have a couple months. You know, Season 3 runs till February, I believe, so I've got plenty of time, and I'll get back into it. I'm just been playing some quick play right now to take a little bit of a break from competitive, as to not get super frustrated with it. But I know a lot of people are frustrated with the season. We're even starting to see some of the better Overwatch players come out and talk about how it's really hard to carry this year, or in this season, and how it's just been really tough with bad teammates and so many new players coming into the game, and some players who at this point just don't care anymore, are just trolling and doing it for whatever reason. But it's been a really, really bad competitive season, I think. And now, like I said, I'm not talking from the perspective of a grandmaster player. And you guys up there at the top levels may be having a great time. It may be really, really good. But at the lower ranks, especially the gold, silver levels right now, it's really, really frustrating. And it's really hard to climb, I think, when you get a couple losses under your belt and you just feel so frustrated even when you're playing well. You just really don't want to keep playing the game. So anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to gripe and complain a little bit about Overwatch Competitive. Let me know how you guys are doing this season, if you're enjoying it, you know, what you like about Season 3, or if you're like me where you just don't really care too much for Season 3 at this point. And let me know what you're planning on doing to improve in the game, and if you think you're going to be able to you know, reach the area you want to reach this year in terms of your SR rank. Anyways, other than that, I just really think the SR system needs to be revamped quite a bit with this game. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it. I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope everyone's ready for a very Merry Christmas. Looking forward to some time off for the holidays. Other than that, hope you're having a great day. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you again next time.